So I'm back in the UK from my honeymoon trip to Japan, which was incredible. I have got over the jet lag, but not quite over the experience. I really want to go back. But I came straight back to the UK, busy setting up this brand new studio, which is also exciting. But I found 10 minutes just to walk you through my Japan fabric and sewing accoutrements haul, because there's some goodies. So the first item wasn't actually bought in a sewing or fabric shop. It was bought in one of my favourite shops that I visited multiple times. So we went to Osaka, Kyoto and Tokyo. In every one of those locations, I had to go to a 7-Eleven. Not only to eat my body weight's worth in melon pan and egg sandwiches, but they're just such an experience because every 7-Eleven is different. But while I was in one of the 7-Elevens, I found this foldable ruler, which I thought was really handy because I've got so many large rulers, like meter rulers, but this one folds up. You can find different angles as well with the mechanism here. And I saw it at the till and had to buy this one. So that's the first thing I bought while in Japan. So I didn't do much fabric shopping in Osaka because we were only there for a couple of days, and that was really to go to Universal Studios, which was incredible. But when we got to Kyoto, the first thing I did was find the nearest sewing shop. And there was a really cute one called Nomura Tailor, I think. I'll write them in the description below. But this was a small shop, but it had so much fabric, including Liberty, some Japanese fabric, a couple of patterns and sashiko kits as well, which I did buy one and finished on the train, but I've not got that here with me. But what I did also buy from there, which I thought would be a cool video, is a Japanese pattern for this rucksack, and all the instructions are in Japanese. I don't speak Japanese, so I think that could be quite fun for us to make together, maybe using Google Translate. But I really like this rucksack, and I bought so many of the Japanese bag charms that you can get in those vending machines. So I definitely want to make this and put my collection on there. And then I also bought some of these, I think they're like fat quarters of different Japanese fabric. There's some gorgeous ones with gold detailing, some patchwork ones, all kind of in similar shades, because what I really want to do with these, and I'll show you the next one in a second, is make a Japanese style jacket using sashiko and Japanese patchwork techniques. So I thought these would be really good to add to that jacket. Then our final destination in Japan was Tokyo, where obviously there's the famous Nippori fabric town. But one of my actual favourite places to go shopping was a shop in Shinjuku, so it wasn't far from Shinjuku train station, and it's called Okadaya, and it's got, I think, like 6 floors of sewing fabric, everything you need from machines to haberdashery to fabric. And while I was there, I bought a button cutting chisel because I've seen a lot of people use these. I normally do the pin and seam ripper technique, so I thought I'd buy one of these to try that out. And then while I was there, we also did a sashiko class, which you can see a little snippet of on my Instagram. But I got so obsessed with sashiko that I bought some sashiko needles and some thread as well, so that I can start doing some more sashiko and also use that on the jacket that I want to make. Now, everyone goes to Japan to go to Nippori fabric town, and it's the most incredible place. It's so overwhelming. It's a full-on street with hundreds, literally hundreds of shops, from beads shops to fabric shops to haberdashery. And I dragged poor Jesus to Nippori town and did a little bit of shopping because I filled my suitcase up with other things, but I did leave some room. And while I was there, I bought this indigo dyed linen with a stripe on from a small shop near the beginning. And I think this is what I want to make the sashiko Japanese patchwork jacket out of. It's quite lightweight, so I think by adding some of the patches and maybe a bit of interfacing and some of the scraps that I've got lying around, this would look really cool, but still lightweight for maybe summer. So that's the first thing I bought, and I bought a couple of meters of this. It is indigo dyed, so the lady did say that I probably need to give it a wash first, but I just love the indigo dyed technique because it picks up on some of the threads and not on some of the others, and it's not kind of uniform all the way through, and it'll wear really nicely. So that's the first thing I bought in Nippori. Then the second thing I bought was while we were walking down, we went down one of the side streets, and there was this old man outside his shop, and there was like no one there, but I saw all of these like brightly coloured fabric that had been like painted and dyed, and he'd done them all of himself, and he literally must have been like over 80 easily, and he was the sweetest man. He didn't speak any English, but that doesn't matter because we just communicated through sewing and fabric. But he'd hand kind of bleached and dyed this black cotton and then covered up the bleach marks with ink, and I just think it's such a cool technique. It reminds me a little bit of what I did in the first episode of the Sewing Bee. And it's amazing what you can do with plain fabric and painting and dyeing. So I've not really got any plans for this. Maybe another jacket, but I might make some trousers as well for my upcoming trouser pattern, so we'll see. But this is one of the other things that I bought, which I'm in love with. And then, of course, I had to go to the famous tomato shop. Again, there's a couple of them in Nippori, but there's also a main one with different floors. So while I was there, I bought some cotton twill, which I think I might make the bag out of. And then if I've got anything left, and maybe another pair of trousers or something. But I bought a couple of meters of this green cotton twill. It's quite heavyweight, so I think it would be good for the bag, but I have really got into more heavy weighted trousers as well. I'm really into like kind of that workwear, so I think this could be quite cool, or maybe even like a sleeveless vest jacket as well to go with the bag. And then the final thing was these, what are they? 300 by 330 centimeter squares of salvage denim, and it's got read through the salvage, and these were like, I think they might have been like 50p, if that. They were all cut up into squares at the front of one of the tomato stores, so I bought a couple of these, and again I might work these into the shirt or potentially the bag. But yeah, while I was there, I really wanted to get some indigo dyed salvage denim as well. So that was my last purchase. So that's a really quick haul of everything I bought in Japan. I was quite reserved. Whilst we did have big suitcases, I didn't want to bring too much back, and I wanted to be really kind of considered in what I was buying. So everything I've bought, I've either got an idea for, or I can easily get an idea for them. So yeah, that's my Japanese haul from our trip to Japan, and I hope you enjoyed them, and stay tuned to see some more projects using those fabrics.